The year is 2006 and your coworker just sent you this email from 3 cubicles away. It's 10 to 5 and you don't plan on opening it, but they proceed to eye you down, peeking from out of their cubicle. Fine, what's the worst that can happen? Upon opening the email, you find yourself clicking a link that leads to a video called Relaxing Car Drive. And that's what it is, at least for the first 13 seconds. A white sedan driving down a windy road in the countryside, accompanied by serenic music, lulling you into a sense of relaxation after a long day at the office. Your coworker's grin grows larger. And then it happens. Your day is ruined. The entire phenomenon of the internet jump scare was started by this very video. Released on March 30th, 2006, the relaxing car drive video took the internet by storm. Pretty much everyone was falling for this classic jump scare because before this, being jump scared by your own computer was something unheard of. Being scared of media was strictly something you experienced in the theaters. Never before were you lulled into a sense of relaxation, only to be jump scared out of your seat in seconds. Now, examining this video in 2022, it's not much that the photo shown is something extremely disturbing. I mean, sure, it's scary, but it's nothing we haven't seen before, especially with the growth of the horror genre that has grown in the internet. I mean, we all know all of the analog horror videos that have been coming up as of late. These videos don't really hold a candle to anything that we have experienced today. A zombie making a scary face is all that it really is. But the fact that this scare seemingly comes out of nowhere is what scared the absolute bejesus out of people watching this. Not to mention that the scream that does happen is extremely loud. So earlier I did turn the volume down so as not to burst your eardrums. But this is what the audio actually sounds like when you experience it for the first time, so. And from this first video grew a new genre of videos on YouTube called YouTube Jumpscares. Nowhere was safe. If you were going to watch a video somebody sent you via email, you had to be prepared, because no email link was safe. And if you were lucky, you would get sent something like a Rickroll jump scare, which is on its own pretty scary. Now, it is unclear how many YouTube jump scares actually were at the time, because it seems like the internet has just forgotten about them, and the few that are left are pretty hard to track down. YouTube jump scares have truly been forgotten. But that wasn't the end of YouTube jump scares. 2 years before the relaxing car drive video, in 2004, a game released called The Scary Maze Game. Although the iconic game wouldn't really gain traction until around 2008. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the Scary Maze Game, essentially it was a game where you had to guide a dot with your mouse to the end of the level and try not to hit any of the borders along the way. Because if you do hit one of these borders, you automatically lose and have to start all over from level 1. There are 5 levels to this game, but it's impossible to make it past level 3. And what the game does so well is that the game not only gains your trust, but your complete focus as well. One wrong move and you have to start back at level 1. So when you make it to level 3, you are extremely careful and have to devote your entire attention to the screen before you so as not to start all over. And then on level 3 is when it happens. There were countless casualties from this internet jump scare game. The next internet jump scare phenomenon had begun and was taking people out left and right. And there is a comment on this video that sums up the great concept of this game. When this game first went viral, it was a brilliant example of how to do a jump scare. It wasn't widely known at the time, unlike today's games, that completely botched the concept. Here's everything this game did right. Number 1. There was no indication that it would happen. It's not classified as a horror game anywhere apparent. And the second, it was done after establishing the lie that it's a real game. And number 3, it was done in a part where you have to move your mouse at pixel detail, forcing your undivided attention. Nothing has come even close since. I do disagree with that last part though. There has been a tremendous amount of games to this day that have, I feel like, surpassed this little indie game. But nonetheless, this game was great and was the next big jump scare icon. But as time went on, people began to catch on. They either knew what the game was and decided not to play it, or they played it and knew it was coming, which pretty much defeated the entire purpose of the game, because you're supposed to go in without knowing that there's going to be a jump scare about to happen. An entire year would pass before the next big YouTube jump scare. Released on June 4th, 2008, a video called Kekia. Now I may be wrong about the date of this particular jump scare's release, but as far as I can tell, this is the only trace of it on the platform. The video starts with a child sitting on the grass looking at the clouds, then walking around some buildings. The video is very quaint and calming, similar to the relaxing car drive video. But 12 seconds into the video, things take a turn. Now this video isn't as popular nor as iconic as the previous 2 jump scare videos that we have covered, but it did still leave its mark in the minds of those who were unfortunate enough to have had experienced it. Honestly, I feel bad for everybody that was going through this era, not being able to click links without being jump scared left and right. It must have been a time where you were really on edge. And the last YouTube jump scare that I do want to take a look at is a video called Michael Jackson's Ghost. And this was released 2 years after the previous video that we just covered. It was 2010 and the whole internet jump scare culture had seemingly died down by then. That is, until this video.
You can see the locks on the doors. Miko, privacy was key in this room, obviously.
Yeah, he liked his privacy when the doors were open.
So Michael Jackson had passed away in around 2009, and it was a pretty big deal. Even as an 8-year-old, I remember it happening. I remember I was at a hotel. I was going to go to Disneyland, and I was flicking through channels, and all that was playing was coverage on Michael Jackson's death. So it was a pretty big thing that happened in 2009. Anyway, a year after, this video did surface. The video was about a news anchor walking through Michael Jackson's house. Michael Jackson's alleged ghost, as seen on Larry King Live, has been seen by millions. Our audio engineers managed to extract an additional layer of sound from this clip. Listen carefully. This is actual audio from the original clip.
All right, Larry, we're inside Michael Jackson's bedroom suite with Miko Brando, our tour guide here, and you're looking at the doors, and you can see the locks on the doors. Miko, privacy was key in this room, obviously.
Yeah, he liked his privacy when the doors were open. You know, it was okay, but when he locked, he wanted his privacy. He had his privacy.
This is one of the bathrooms.
And the video ends with this message on screen, saying this is a small tribute to a man who will never stop thrilling us. Now, what works about this particular jump scare is the fact that it makes you feel like you're uncovering a mystery. You have your volume all the way up and most likely have your face plastered against the screen. And then when you're at your most vulnerable, squinting your eyes, freaking pressed against the screen, trying not to miss it, Michael Jackson screams at you. Now, this particular jump scare I do have a fondness for. I remember being a little 10-year-old and getting as many people as I could to watch this video. But can you imagine that though? Like a little 10-year-old coming up to you, like trying to get you to watch this video, and then you get freaking jump scared, and this little kid's just like laughing at you.
My God, son, that's wonderful.
I know if a little kid did that to me, I would freaking little kid trying to jump scare me? Thinks it's funny? But for the most part, these were the most memorable jump scares that did impact internet culture back in the early 2000s. And there are definitely still a bunch of YouTube jump scare videos that I didn't cover. So if you guys can get a hold of those and let me know in the comments, I can make another video on this because this was pretty fun. But yeah, my name is Wowman. I hope you enjoyed this trip down memory lane because I sure did. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe. And huge thank you to all my beautiful Patreons, Cubery, Brian, Harlow, Estenia, Bleh, and 10 Tiny Bees. Again, always thank you guys so much. You're helping contribute to the creation of these videos. So thank you. And yeah, that's pretty much everything. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. It was great. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.